Come on, man. You got Larry June in the building. You listen to the Morning Roast, and we're doing numbers, man. Good job, Morning Roast. Sock it to me. Hey. Yee!
What up, Larry June? Happy New Year to you, as it is a Warriors Wednesday, brought to you by Freedman's Appliance, a trusted name in the Bay Area since 1922. Visit freedmansappliance.com today.
On Freedman's, before you go, have you ever been to a Freedman's?
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, I went there the other day. They've got an unbelievable selection of these little hardware, the handles for gates.
Yeah.
Because I was using my Golden State
Right.
lumber, my cedar gates, and I had to find some handles. And so I got these beautiful barn door handles. So I just want to let everyone know. Go to Freedman's.
No, Freedman's is legit.
I went to the
Freedman's
one
is
up in like
legit.
Roanoke Park, Santa Rosa area.
They've got Roanoke Park. They've got the one in, I believe, Concord, right? East Bay. That's where Coles used to do a lot of shows
I'm
for
gonna look it
Freedman's
up.
Appliance.
Yeah.
Jim Colesmore, shout out to him out there in Nashville.
I'm sorry, sir.
Out there in Nashville, Tennessee. Wonder how happy he is to
Pleasant
see
Hill.
Rock Park. Pleasant Hill.
So they
Pleasant
got
Hill.
Petaluma,
Yep.
Sonoma, Santa Rosa, Pleasant
Yep,
Hill.
Pleasant Hill's the one I've
There
been
you
to.
go.
Pleasant Hill's really,
And
really
Ukiah,
nice.
if you're up that far.
Well, Ukiah, 2 hours north. Dude, Ukiah used to have a great Pop Warner football program.
Really?
Oh, dude, they used to run it. So their offense was double tight ends and 4 guys in the backfield. And you never knew.
Darren Waller and Moreau.
Waller, Moreau. Yeah, not bad. And they used to snap it to whatever 4 guys in the backfield. So they lined up like a square in the backfield. It was like a square. 4 running backs, basically. You didn't know where the ball was going, and they were legit for many, many years.
The L7 weenie offense.
Ukiah, where are they? The Ukiah Lions. Ukiah Lions.
Nobody got that.
No, it was a bad joke. We're telling a story. You're out here trying to tell.
The Ukiah Lions. Honestly, though, be safe, everybody. I was just seeing a report
All
right
black.
now. The Russian River is going to flood, and I'm just everybody on River Road in Guerneville, Rio Neto, Monterey, Hopland area. Just I pray for everybody up there, and I hope everyone stays safe and do everything you can to hunker down and clean everything out of your garages and. Just good luck. I mean, geez, Louise.
All right, man. You're just making it sound depressing.
Well,
We've been
I
through
just got
rain
a bunch
before,
of news.
folks. Here's the problem.
There's going to be flooding.
No, there is going to be flooding.
And it
There's gonna
stinks.
be
I know
bad-
Santa
there's gonna
Cruz
be
has got
bad
really
weather.
bad mudslides.
Yeah, but Santa Cruz is going to be rough. It's going to
Yeah.
be rough driving down Highway 1, no doubt about that. But, we've been through rain before. We'll get through it. We'll be all right. Just drive safe. Don't be crazy out there. You don't need to speed.
Get off
By the
the
way,
phone.
Well,
poll
importantly,
question.
we needed this rain, guys. Come
Oh,
on.
I
Yeah,
hate hearing
exactly.
that.
We're in the drought. All right. At Morning Roast 957, who would you trust most to build a championship team right now? Farhan Zaidi, Billy Beane, Bob Myers, John Lynch. And, right away I'm seeing 2 on the Xfinity mobile text line. 510, Billy Beane builds contenders with no money. Imagine what he could do if John Fisher wasn't such a bleepity, 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 bleep. Just saying. 206, give me Billy Beane with Joe Lacob's money.
Well, that's
Wow.
funny that people say that because isn't Farhan
The
so-
Billy Beane disciple?
Yes. Okay, so Theo Epstein, I've thought about this long and hard. If Theo Epstein was running the Pittsburgh Pirates, would he be as successful? I don't know. I know what his skill set is. He could take over a big-time, cash-happy organization, and he can, flip things around and help them win almost instantaneously. Dave Dombrowski will go to your organization, and he will sell off all of your farm, and he'll sign a bunch of guys in free
You're a
agency.
big Dombrowski fan.
Well, he's been to the World Series with 3 different teams.
You're a
I
big
know
fan.
what his mantra is. Billy Beane, could he, because Farhan's a disciple of Billy Beane, and I thought that, you're going to have all the money ball tactics, but you're going to be able to spend money. Aren't those two things metrically opposed to each other? Isn't that how they say it?
Yeah.
Is that the phrase?
Yeah, well, let's roll with it.
Aren't they completely opposites?
Yes.
They're not congruent?
No, it doesn't
Right?
feel like it.
So I don't get how these things could work. Billy Beane with some money.
Diametrically opposed.
There you go. Thank you.
Leave that stuff to Lubman,
Yeah.
please.
Well, I was trying to be funny. But, I don't think Farhan or Billy Beane is ever going to spend any money because I think it's against their ethos as a person.
Yeah.
We all know those penny pinchers.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And again, Farhan believes this was a successful offseason, showing that players want to play for the Giants. And I find that laughable. I find it laughable. So if you came to a guy building a team, right now I'm seeing 5 years of Farhan Zaidi. I'm not happy with the way he's built this roster. They don't look any better than 2018. All right? Billy Beane, Niaze, for me, it's between Bob Myers and John Lynch.
Agreed.
And what John Lynch and Shanahan has done with the 49ers in 6 years is truly remarkable. You look at the last 3 years, they're now 41-24, 17 games over 500. I know a lot of people want to focus on the overall record. We get when Shanahan and Lynch took over, this was an expansion team. The games before that season with Chip Kelly, I was at those games. I was like, damn, it's going to be a long time before the 49ers are good. And they flipped this program very quickly. And you look at the core group that they have, the star power that they have, the Niners are built to last. And when you look at and we'll get into this Friday, just looking at the NFC West as the Niners have the chance to sweep the division this year, they're set up to dominate the division, kind of like the Patriots dominated the AFC East for a long, long time. We'll get to that Friday. But you get Bob Myers. Well, I think a lot of people say, well, he inherited Stephen Curry. Okay, it's fine. They learned how to build around Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
Brought in the right coach.
Which is really difficult.
Which is really difficult. You bring in the right coach. You draft the right players. You develop the right players. You net the biggest free agent possibly outside of Tom Brady in the history of sports and Kevin Durant. You make the shrewd move for Andre Iguodala. To me, it's between Bob Myers and John Lynch on who you want to build your roster.
What's easier to build, a football team or a basketball team?
Don't know. Because there's a lot of basketball teams that struggle.
It's really difficult.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like, I look at the Atlanta Hawks, and I feel like they've done a pretty good job.
It's okay.
And then I look up, and I'm like, maybe they haven't. You know what I mean? Like, and they've got a guy who's very marketable in Trae Young. I think he's a flawed player. Like, I look at the Dallas Mavericks. They drafted one of the best players in the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years, wherever you want to put it, in Luka Doncic. He's an awesome player. Building around him is going to be really hard. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, no doubt.
It's going to be really hard.
Really hard.
It's really hard. Like, there's a variety of ways that you can build, obviously through the draft, through free agency, through trades. And I just think it's a lot easier to say, oh, build around someone. Giannis been the MVP 2 straight years. And I think Milwaukee's done a pretty good job building around him.
Exactly.
If they never won another title, wouldn't you say, they still did a
very
great
good run.
Yeah,
they're relevant.
One title.
They're relevant.
It's so hard to win.
They're relevant.
Right? And then I look at, like, the Lakers. They won their one title, and I go, did they really build around LeBron? Dude, it's funny how those things are, like, complete opposites.
They tried, but they brought in the wrong pieces.
In one ring. You know, so, like, and then I look at the NFL, and it's like, all right, Jacksonville's been drafting in the top of the draft for year after year after year, and they're finally starting to slowly get it right, but yet they're still far away. Man, it's really hard. It's really hard to build a football team. But then I look at the Rams. I was like, they were really aggressive. They won that ring, and now it feels like they're bottoming out.
Well, of course, it's hard. Think about how hard it is to keep a dynasty going.
Well, that's why I'm giving Bob Myers to me, I'm going with Bob Myers. Not only did they win, they've drafted, they've developed, they've maintained, they've replenished the roster. No, they're not perfect.
No
but
doubt.
to win as many times as they have, I think that one.
You win 15 games. You win 15 games. You say, Oubre, you can walk. You don't want to come off the bench, fine. You make the move for Wiggins. All right, you bring in Wiggins, and you get to pick with Jonathan.
It's one of the ballsiest moves they've done.
Get rid of D'Lo when you knew that D'Lo, a half into the season, that D'Angelo Russell's not going to work out.
No.
You just saw it. You knew it. Bob Myers has done some great things with the Golden State Warriors. Championships do matter. And I think that's where people are going to say, give me Bob Myers to build my roster as opposed to John Lynch. But John Lynch is knocking on that door. And the 49ers have made some big-time moves. The move to get Christian McCaffrey may let them a Super Bowl appearance. That's how big-time that move was.
Fonte, it's not just that. They swung to get Dee Ford. They swung to get Emmanuel Sanders. Like, aggressive.
Quan Alexander.
Yeah, aggressive has been in their DNA, right? They've spent, now I think the way the leagues are set up, it's a little different. They've spent in free agency when they needed to early on. They've drafted well. They've moved off of bad draft picks quick enough. And they've moved off of established players. Like Bonte, one of the things that they've done a really good job of is replenishing the roster year after year after year. Think about they lose DJ Jones. Okay, I thought it was going to be a big loss.
Oh, you don't even notice his loss. You don't notice his absence.
At all.
You didn't notice the absence of Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw.
At all.
I mean, they've been dominant. So
Jaquaski
Tart, you bring in Hufanga.
Farhan would have stuck around with him for another 3 years.
Yeah,
Jaquaski Tart is equivalent to like Mike Yastrzemski.
This is what we can't agree on. Nobody's taking Farhan Zaidi to build your roster.
At all.
At all.
No.
Nobody.
No.
And I felt like 2 years ago, Farhan had the biggest Q rating. Because the Warriors had just won 15 games. So everybody's, Bob Myers, he stood pat, he didn't do anything. We know how we felt about John Lynch in 2020.
Yeah.
And Farhan, coming off that 107-win season, had the biggest Q rating. And now you think about 2023, and everybody wants Farhan out of town. out of town.
Well,
so I think we all agree that we don't want Farhan building our roster, or are you going to be waiting 15 years?
Well, the one thing that the Niners and the Warriors have done a great job of is sustaining the success and building off it. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Giants have done that. And the reason why is because the majority of that success that they had either left in free agency and they thought they could replenish it, or they were someone else's guys and that they're at the end of their run.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It's not good. So